get the session started. I know everybody is excited to learn about Remote Assist, and this is a full house. So I wanted to go over some housekeeping rules. My name is Ashley. I will take on questions, but most of your questions should be submitted in the app. So if you want questions for this session, please log into the JNUC app, find the session, and then go into the Q&A. For virtual attendees, you just locate the session page and you can ask your questions there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get our session started. I'm going to bring up Travis Senar, who's an amazing product manager at Jamf, and he's here to give you an experience.
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this session to experience Jamf Remote Assist. We've been talking about it for a little time now and gave some high-level insight into what Jamf Remote Assist is, and I want to kind of take it a little level deeper and talk through about the admin experience as well as the end-user experience. So as Ashley mentioned, my name is Travis Senar. I'm part of the product management team and work really closely on the Jamf Pro side of things. So as far as what we're going to be talking about today, again, we're going to go over about what Jamf Remote Assist is, what problems it solves for, and how it works. And then we'll go through some of the demos, which may or may not look very similar to the demo that the keynote made, but actually it's very, very much similar. Stole it. So we're going to dive right in and talk a little bit about what is Jamf Remote Assist. And it's a Jamf in-product remote screen sharing experience that is starting with Jamf Pro first. It'll offer an interactive and user notification experience and supports Mac OS today. And the Remote Assist feature will be disabled by default on all the Macs. So uncovering why Remote Assist is important, today's workspace looks very much different than it did 3.5 years ago. And users are continuing to work remotely across the globe, whether they're enterprise employees, healthcare staff, shift workers, and in some cases, still our teachers and students. This has created an opportunity for you as IT admins to be hyper creative, to continue supporting not only the Apple devices, but providing the best experience possible on that the Apple devices so that they can be efficient, productive, and secure for the end user. And then as we continue on, remote needs continues to evolve, and it's not slowing down. Some supporting data on kind of the why Remote Assist is important. Jamf conducted a survey in 2020 around remote screen sharing solutions, and we found that 70% of admins frequently require remote screen sharing capabilities. 58% must be able to use remote screen sharing solutions outside of the organization's network, and 59% require user permissions for screen sharing. The most common workflows that we find for a remote screen sharing solution is around troubleshooting and IT tasks and any maintenance that you need to connect into the device to perform. And according to research conducted by McKinsey and Company, market data is showing that enablement for IT remote capabilities is not going away. 58% of companies state they are offering remote work at least once per week. 35% offer remote on a full-time basis, and 23% offered part-time or on occasion for remote work. So on the right side, the number of users that impacts really speaks to, I'm sure, the pressures you all face from day to day to support these devices, but also maintaining a level of excellence when it comes to that end user experience, and Jamf believes Remote Assist will help. So taking a look at the trusted access journey, Jamf has embarked. We believe Jamf Remote Assist is a tool that adds to this story. At the end of the day, Jamf wants to ensure authorized users can access company resources on enrolled devices that are secure and compliant no matter where they are. Remote Assist is the perfect admin tool to troubleshoot issues or conduct regular maintenance on a device regardless of the location. And there's two experiences that we'll want to unfold today. The first is the IT admin experience, where the IT admin really requires that seamless, secure, and performant experience. And whether the device, again, is used in the lab or for our remote employees for a one-to-one model. And the second experience is around the end user experience. End users should have a sense of comfort knowing no matter where they take their device or where they are located, they maintain a high level of productivity when doing their work or learning and never have to compromise their privacy. So drilling into the admin experience for Remote Assist, the first step to get started is for a full access Jamf Pro admin to permit access to the other admins into Jamf Pro. And by doing this, we need to make sure that they have the permissions to be able to access their Macs. And so to do this, the full access Jamf Pro admin will go into Jamf Pro, select System Settings. They'll choose the User and Groups option within Pro and edit the targeted admin they want to grant access to. From there, they'll select Jamf Pro server actions, and then last but not least, simply go ahead and enable start remote assist sessions, and then save. Next, admins need an easy way to configure the settings on the Mac to permit the ability to perform remote screen sharing activities. To do this, Jamf bundled the required settings into a privacy preferences policy control payload. This configuration can be found by going to Settings, Computer Management, Security page of Pro. Then we need to enable the ensure that Jamf Management Framework is going to be installed, Jamf Remote Assist, and Jamf Management Framework and self-service are also enabled to make sure the notifications and so forth can also be provided. After the required security configurations are selected and saved, they will automatically be deployed to the Mac, and it's deployed to across the entire Mac fleet. So logging is another critical component to this experience, and Jamf understands the requirement and will be offering some logging events about the initiation of Remote Assist connection at our general availability release. More detailed logging and auditing related to a session will be available in further iterations released post-GA as well. So for a quick recap on the admin experience, the following must be in place in order to initiate the screen sharing. You must have the proper admin configurations. You must have the right settings configured within Pro, and then you'll have the ability to launch a remote assist session on your Macs by going into your management commands page of your targeted Macs within Pro. Some logging about the initiated session will also be available via the change management logs. So moving on to the end user experience, again, the goal here is for end users to have a seamless experience no matter where their device is located. Your end users should have they shouldn't have to care or worry about what's happening behind the scenes as long as their privacy is protected, and you as the IT admin can perform whatever tasks are necessary on that device so that they can continue to doing their best work. So this experience is driven in two ways. We have an attended session and we have an unattended session. The attended session is determined if the end user is logged into the Mac. Once an admin initiates a remote assist session and the criteria of an attended access is met, the end user will be prompted with a notification requesting permission to access the Mac. If the end user approves, access is granted, and if the end user rejects, the admin will be informed that it was declined, and the remote assist connection is dropped immediately. So what about the use cases when a user is not logged into the screen? For example, in schools' computer labs, and the admin knows that nobody is in the room. How can we ensure that we can perform whatever maintenance or troubleshooting steps we need to do on those devices? This is where unattended access comes into play, and it's determined when the user is not logged into the Mac. If the criteria of this is met, there is no end user prompt, and the IT admin is automatically allowed to remote access to the Mac. So now the end user should not know how the behind the scenes of it works, but I'm guessing you as the IT admin do care a little bit about how that is. So for high level, it's actually really quite simple. The privacy preference policy control payload allows for the remote control of the Mac, allows for control of the display, access to the application data, sysadmin files, and receives UI events from all the processes. The remote connector agent is used silently to communicate back and forth between the browser and to the Jamf Remote Assist service, which we'll get more into in a bit, ensuring a stable and active session is established. To maintain that user privacy mindset, this connector is only enabled when the security configurations are configured and deployed within Jamf Pro, as explained earlier. So to visualize the flow a little bit of the Jamf Remote Assist session, it's first important to note that Jamf Pro will never activate the Remote Assist connection unless an approved admin starts a session. Starting from the left, the first step is the admin initiates the connection with Pro, and an authenticated call asks if the device is available for a remote session, and the user is, if they're logged in, will be prompted for that approval, or if not, you'll be able to just access the Mac accordingly. So in the sense of, let's say the end user did go ahead and they accepted for the connection, a viewer application opens in the new browser tab and attempts to start the screen sharing session. And then for 4, remote device begins streaming remote screen sharing session through the Jamf Cloud Remote Assist service. And then lastly, 5, Remote Assist service delivers the session view to viewer's application in the admin's browser. This is, again, ongoing until either the end user or the admin chooses to close out the connection. So as we looked at on the keynote, here's a quick demo of the experience. So as you can see in Jamf Pro, the admin is going to go search for their Mac that they want to remote screen into. They go ahead and select the start session. And at this point, we're reaching out to the Remote Assist service to talk with the client and offer the prompt, which they approved. And then as far as the workflow goes on here, we're just doing a accessibility workflow for creating a shortcut. And then once the operation or the task that you're after is accomplished, you can either simply close out the browser to end the connection, and the end user can also close the connection as well. So Jamf Remote Assist is going through a private beta cycle currently, and we have received some really great feedback on the overall experience and the product. So some feedback that we heard, so an active Jamf Nation community member, Lewis, shared that this will make a difference in troubleshooting problems for myself as the sysadmin and those in tiered support roles. Other feedback we received was by Jonathan from the Mac at IBM program, and shared that when it comes to interacting with a remote device, easier is better. The integration within Jamf makes this process effortless. So some further quick callouts based off feedback that we also received, both also interacting with folks here at JNUC and then also from the private beta forums that we've been communicating with customers on. The question came up, what about the SSH support via terminal within Pro? This is not supported today, but based on feedback workflows found acceptable is to utilize the Mac OS terminal of the Mac that's being screen shared with. And regarding logging, or another option as well is to leverage self-service. And so we've had some admins create really specific workflows for troubleshooting or doing regular maintenance and easily be able to leverage self-service to access those workflows and run through them there. And then regarding logging and auditing, like I said, there's going to be more detailed logging coming in a future release after our initial launch as well. But we will have some around initiation of the session at launch. So last but certainly not least, I just want to say our engineering teams are working tirelessly to get this into the hands. They've been doing some excellent work to make sure that we have the proper quality and security all in top of mind. And we cannot wait for you to experience the benefits of Remote Assist. Also, thank you to everyone who's been participating in the private betas. Very much product and engineering teams are ecstatic with the feedback that we have received so far. And for everyone else, once Remote Assist is available for public beta testing, please be active in the beta forums and providing us that feedback so we can make sure that we are iterating and solving the right business problems that you need for your organization. So with that said, Jamf Remote Assist will be coming soon. I thank you very much for your time, and I'll turn it over to our speaker host, Ashley, to help organize any questions.
All right, so we have quite a few questions, and I will start with the most popular one. Is it free?
Come GA, we'll be with our product offering of Jamf Pro, so yes.
I think that deserves a round of applause, yeah. All right, next question, and this came up quite a few times. But are there any plans to make this available for iOS, iPadOS, or possibly even tvOS?
There has been conversations around like what that experience will look like. For now, it is macOS only, and we'll continue to receive your feedback for perhaps future iterations.
Okay, next question. Is there a minimum OS requirement to use Jamf Remote Assist?
I believe the minimum OS is macOS 15 or later. And also I want to mention that Jamf Remote Assist will support the cloud and also on-prem as well.
Okay, I'm working through the questions. If there are questions in the room, just a reminder that you can submit them through the app. Just find the session within the JNUC app and submit your questions there. So there's quite a bit. Let's see. Next.
The screen sharing one, that's really upvoted right now. What about screen sharing?
Getting there. Well, wait. Which one?
Does this require user-approved screen sharing?
Oh, I see that one. I'm going to jump to the other one that's high up, and then I'll come back to that one. Does remote login need to be enabled on Mac endpoints in order for this feature to work?
So that's where when I was talking about the security configurations with the PPC payload, that bundles and deploys to the Mac to make sure all of the proper configurations are set to enable a remote screen sharing.
Cool. All right, next question, Travis. Does this require user-approved screen sharing permissions, a la TeamViewer, Beyond Trust, or anything like it? Or does it work without any of those and it just uses Apple screen sharing?
So if I'm understanding the question correctly, that's kind of where the attended and unattended experience comes into play. So if a user is logged into the Mac, they will be prompted to be able to approve or decline the session.
Okay, what's the question?
Help me out.
Oh, sorry.
Gotcha.
Screen recording.
Screen
Sorry.
recording, I believe, is not supported with the initial release.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, wait, whoa. 1 second. I will walk around to get the question. Travis, I'll let you answer another question while I get this one correct. Can Jamf remote access a Mac at File Vault login?
Say that again.
Can Jamf remote access a Mac at File Vault login?
That is a good question, and we'll be sure we test it to get feedback on that and answers for there.
Okay. Next question. Is this going to be available for customers with Jamf Pro on-prem?
Yes.
Okay, easy one, hopefully. Does it have dual monitor view capability?
Also a really good question. We'll take that back to the team to confirm. I will say that if for admins that want to have multiple screen sharing, since it is browser based, if you would go into Jamf Pro and select a session start, you would be able to also, if you wanted to have multiple sessions going at the same time, you'd be able to do that. The other thing I want to mention too that I didn't mention in the presentation is the ability to drag and drop files through the screen recording session, so you'll be able to do that as well, both to the remote assisted Mac and also to your personal Mac that you're connecting with.
Cool. Yeah. And then next question, Travis. Can file transfers be done?
Yes, file transfers can be done.
We're going to talk about the screen recording one, Travis.
Yeah. Hi. There is a permission that needs to be enabled on a Mac for remote viewing sessions.
Yes.
Most third-party apps will have to have the user click a button to approve screen recording. It doesn't mean that the app is actually capturing anything to disk or saving it anywhere. It's literally a permission that was added in Catalina that requires a one-time action by the end user, and Apple does not allow this to be managed. So the question is, does this have to be done for Jamf Remote Assist, or is it using Apple Remote Desktop, which does not require that permission?
I will have to confirm with the team specifically on that, but from the experience that I have seen so far, there has been no prompt for that from the end user. So my guess is it's the latter with the remote desktop, but I'll confirm with the team.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, next question. Are there granular admin permissions for enabling Jamf admins to trigger attended or unattended sessions?
With initial launch, there is not, but that is one of the things where we really want to get feedback on to see like what does that experience, what are the requirements for your organization with the attended versus unattended. So please share feedback in the beta forums when it becomes available.
Next question. Will there be API access available so that admins can integrate this with ServiceNow or other help desk tools?
That's another one I'll confirm back with the team to see how that is going to be handled. I have seen only the UI experience, but so I'll confirm with the APIs.
Okay. Another question. Will the session stay connected after a reboot or log off?
No.
That was easy answer.
Yeah.
Okay, you're answering faster than I can keep up with the questions that are coming in.
No, these are good.
Yeah. Okay, are multiple admins able to connect to the same Mac concurrently?
Since it's, I want to say no, but I will confirm with the team on that one as far as a test case for sure.
Okay, what's the criteria for an unattended access session?
So the criteria is if the user is logged into the Mac, and there's the process that we're determining on that, and that's driven through the connector, the remote assist connector that is on the Mac. And then that feeds information back into the remote assist service, back to Pro to let us know if it's attended or unattended.
I just had the question, but they're coming in really, really fast, so they disappear from my screen rather quickly. Easy question. Will this service be available for other products besides Jamf Pro?
Yeah, so we're starting with Jamf Pro, and then based off feedback that we receive, perhaps in the future we may offer it for other future products as well.
Okay. You kind of highlighted this one, but will Jamf Remote Assist be available in the current version or only available in Jamf Pro 11?
So it will be available in the version that we are releasing Remote Assist with, so it will be 11 something.
Okay, how does copy paste work with a remote session?
Say that again, Ashley.
How does copy and paste work with a remote session?
As far as like from a file transfer, you could do that for copy and paste.
Well, can you send copied items between devices?
I want to say yes, but we'll have to confirm. It's a good question.
Here's a good one. If the management of the device is broken, can you still remote in?
No, I believe because it's being driven through the Jamf management framework settings. So if the device is no longer checking into Jamf Pro, then we would not be able to remote screen share into it.
Okay, next question. Can you blank the screen or restrict end user control in unattended sessions?
I don't believe so, but we'd be interested to learn more about that use case and perhaps for a future iteration.
Okay. Next question. The current Jamf Remote has been broken on VPN-based Macs because it tries to connect to the IP of the local interface, which is not reachable instead of the VPN-facing one. Does Jamf Remote Assist resolve this problem?
Yes, Jamf Remote Assist will work both on your internal network and outside of your network as well.
Okay. If the Mac is sleeping, can you still initiate a session?
I believe this is where the unattended access would come into play, and as long as we are able to reach the device, we should be able to remote into it.
Okay. Does an unattended access work only if no user is logged in, or will it work if the screen is locked as well?
So if a user is logged into the Mac, yes, we will require the end user to provide you access. And as far as if you're outside of the login screen, then that's when unattended access will initiate.
Will Jamf Remote Assist work for BYOD or user-initiated devices, like user-initiated enrolled devices?
That is a good question. I would like to say that it wouldn't work on the BYOD devices, but I will confirm with the team because I'm not confident in that answer.
Let's talk about some branding. Can you brand the notifications and customize the verbiage of the notification on the device when you start the session?
So some of the development stuff is still underway around even like the notification side of things. So I can't say for now if at launch we'll have the ability to customize, but that's good feedback for future.
Okay, let's talk about browsers. Are there specific browsers required to leverage the functionality? So Safari, Firefox, Chrome, Edge?
Yeah, it would support the main ones that you just mentioned there.
Working my way through some questions.
We have one person's hand raised.
Ports. Any custom ports in the back end?
Okay,
Network ports?
I'll repeat the question so virtual attendees can hear. The question is around ports. Are there any specific ports that we're using for this service?
I think all the communication is done over 443, so I can confirm. All that will be documented as far as ports and to make sure admins are set up for success as they're deploying this out in the documentation in the future. So, and then yeah, and just ask that any questions, please refer back to the what is that? The questionnaire in the session app.
Yeah, the session Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm working through duplicate questions. Give me a second here. Is the Jamf Management ID used with Jamf Remote Assist?
I'm not sure as far as that granular level of how that is handled.
Okay. We have a few more questions. A lot of them are coming in similarly. The biggest question was definitely the cost. There's a question around TeamViewer. I think it's a bit more of a statement, but do you have anything to share from a TeamViewer perspective versus Jamf Remote Assist?
Just outside of that, we've support the TeamViewer integration, and is based off from feedback that we've got from customers, and that was the first partner that we chose to go to market with. And then also based off from feedback about our own personal in-product experience offering is why we went the route for with Jamf Remote Assist.
Just follow up on that. So what would you continue to do with TeamViewer?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I can repeat the question.
Yeah, go for it.
So the question is if we'll continue supporting TeamViewer after we release Jamf Remote Assist. Yes, TeamViewer will continue being supported.
Will Jamf Remote Assist require the on-prem user to modify firewall policies to allow connectivity to Jamf Remote Assist cloud services, or is it proxy aware?
If the device is able to connect to Jamf Pro, we shouldn't have any issues with that.
Okay. Can end users deny access to their machines, or does it allow technology teams to access with no clicks?
So that goes back to the attended and unattended workflows. And so if I'm understanding the question correctly, like if the end user could just opt out of having that ability, no. It's up to the admin when they have their devices enrolled into Mac and the configurations are deployed for accessing Remote Assist. It's sent to all the Macs in your fleet. And then the attended access is where the end user is able to determine if they want to accept or reject the remote screen sharing session, as long as they are logged into the Mac.
Can the end user tell who is connected to their device?
So today the experience, what it looks like, and again, this can definitely all change in the future as well, but no, we don't share like which person it is. It's a generic message saying your organization wants to remote screen share into your solution or into your Mac and so forth there. So it doesn't tell exactly who is accessing.
Okay. Can you remote from a Windows device to a Mac? So if you're an admin and you're using a Windows device, can you remote into a Mac?
It's browser based, so it should, yes. But
Following more questions here. This should be an easy one. Can it work from anywhere in the world?
yes.
Mac OS 15 was mentioned as the minimum supported OS. Did you mean Mac OS 14?
I'll have to check the requirements again on it, but I believe it was Mac OS 15, but I'll confirm. 10.15. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so if a user is logged in, but the login screen is shown, does this count as an attended or unattended session?
Say that again, Ashley.
If a user is logged in, I just dismissed the question, but if a user is logged in, like, I guess give more criteria around what's attended versus unattended.
Yeah, really what we're looking for is just if the end user is logged into the Mac. So if they are logged in, it will initiate as an attended session.
Okay. Is there any way to send shell script commands like we can do with ARD?
You can't do that through like the browser that gets open for the remote screen sharing session or even within Jamf Pro product today, but you will be able to access, again, terminal on the Mac you're remoted into to run any commands that you want.
Thank you. Getting down to the bottom of the list here with questions. We covered what it's available for. Lots of questions around timing. Some funny ones like define soon, or when is it coming, or when can we expect it? But a better way to define that is how can customers participate in the beta program, the beta preview?
Yes, so right now, like I said, we have select participants in the private beta program, and once it's available for the public beta, we'll be definitely opening it up to everyone. So I don't have any specific timelines I'm able to share today, but coming soon.
Okay, will there be a chat function so that admins can interact with the user on the device?
There's not a chat function today.
And then in K through 12, students often forget to log out. Will there be an option to kick out a locked or logged in user?
So it's an interesting use case. No, as far as like, I'd like to better understand that use case actually a little more before I would answer it, but my initial reaction is no.
Can I give some clarification on that?
Yeah.
I think it would probably be like in a computer lab where a student forgets to log out. It's the end of the day, nobody's there, the computer's still logged in.
Yeah, so in that case, the admin would
Do you
be
want to
able,
repeat that for the virtual attendees, the scenario?
you want to hand it to him?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the one who asked the question, but here's a use case for it. In a computer lab in a school, it's the end of the school day, everybody's gone home, student forgot to log out. Are our hands tied? Like, yeah, how do we access the computer at that point?
Yeah, so that is a great use case and great question. I'll take that back to the team.
Yeah, would it work to just send a reboot command? Well,
Yeah, you could send a policy or whatever it is to the device to kick off. Sure, that would help reboot it and kick off. But regardless, that's a good use case and I guess edge case as far as like how we would interact with that type of workflow.
'cause I think that's not an uncommon scenario in education.
Right. Yeah, not uncommon at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the questions earlier was if a user was logged in but they locked the screen, so it's like prompting them for their password or like a thumbprint or something, would that consider unattended access?
I believe so, but I'll have to confirm the workflow. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. There's a guy back here.
So I guess for logged-in users, do they have to have administrative access? Or like for my labs, all of my labs log in as a guest user. After 15 minutes, they auto-log out and then log back in. If I've got somebody who's on a machine, but they're logged in as the guest, since that's a deprecated user, can we still do that for other systems?
I believe so. Like I know it works on standard users, but if it's like there, but yeah,
Okay,
I'll
cool.
have to confirm.
All right, you can keep the questions coming in the room. If there's more questions through the app, it's easier for me to get there. But what's your question?
What user session is running for the unattended? Is the remote app creating a user account or a service account? I mean, since we can't start unattended if a user is logged in, what user session is the unattended going to be running? Do you understand the question?
Yeah, yep, I do. I will have to take that back to the team and ask. Yeah.
Gotcha. Question is, will Jamf Remote Assist be a part of the base management framework, or will there be a separate application?
No, it's part of the management framework. So there's the component with the remote assist service that is communicating between Jamf Pro and your device. And then on the client itself is the remote assist connector. And that's basically an agent that's communicating back with the session and so forth there. So it's part of the Jamf management framework, yes.
Are there any limitations on what Jamf Remote Assist will let you interact with on the end user computer? So like if we use remote desktop, some of those system preferences regarding privacy, we can't click on, the end user has to click on.
Mm-hmm.
Does this allow us to do that, or would we still need the end user to click on certain things?
I will confirm with the team on the granularity, but looking at the PPC profile that we deploy, we get the full access. But let me just confirm to make sure there's no like edge cases on that too. So.
Working my way around the room.
What happens when a remote session for the admin level or your unattended access needs to turn into an attended access? They come back from lunch. You were working on it unattended. Now they're back from lunch. Do they take over?
I would have to confirm on what that experience looks like. I know that we've been looking at ways of being able to notify like an end user if they come back on the device, like, hey, someone is using a remote screen sharing session on this device, and having that like floating notification or whatever. Whether that's coming at initial launch, I'll have to confirm with the team, but yeah, good question.
Okay, next question, can unattended access be disabled?
Yeah, so it's disabled by default, and then you can disable it at any time as well. And so with the way that it gets enabled is, again, by going through the computer management security settings and enabling Jamf Remote Assist functionality.
Thought there was one more question in the room.
Great
Two more
questions in here.
questions.
I thought I was going to end way too early for my presentation, so this is great.
Two quick things. Is there planned development around being able to potentially scope this out to computers you want that's available on, so it's not just a binary on or off on your entire fleet? And then secondly,
So to answer that question, as for initial launch, no, we're not going to support it. It's supported across the entire Mac fleet. I'd be interested, maybe perhaps after the session, to learn more about like what that use case is, and I can bring that back to the product manager and the team.
yeah, and secondly, is there planned development, probably not at launch, but planned development, so it could function similarly to screen sharing, so it could allow you to log in simultaneously unattended, but not view the active user session?
Also a good use case. I'll bring that back to the team. Thanks.
Okay, I think we have one more question in the room.
Any plans to support RBAC so that different support teams only have access to the Macs that they support instead of the whole entire fleet?
Yeah, so like a site-based access for Remote Assist. Yeah. So I believe at initial launch we're not supporting the site-based admins, but something that we can consider for the future.
Oh, more hands. Okay, there are more questions. I probably shouldn't walk in front of the stage, but you guys, it's a packed house here today.
For the unanswered questions, are you planning to like reply in the app so we can find out later, or will this be posted somewhere?
Yeah, so we are able to capture all of these questions, and I will work with the product manager to figure out the best way to get these answers and stuff to the community. There's certain things that we definitely want to be careful on what we're all disclosing, so we just got to make sure we're getting the right permissions and approvals for that. But I'll connect with the product manager to see how we want to communicate some of these follow-up questions. I wanted to circle back as well with the permission side of things, because you can grant the specific admins access. Not everybody just automatically gets access to remote screen sharing capabilities within the admin console. And so you can pick and choose which admins you want to enable or allow or disallow to have remote screen sharing access to Macs. Coming up on time.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you all for the questions, and it just shows the excitement and the need that's out there. So really excited, and stay tuned for future announcements. Thank you all.